Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston International Space Station, ready for the event.
MIT, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is John Tilkow from MIT Technology Review. Really looking forward to speaking to you.
Hi, John. Really nice to hear your voice above our International Space Station, zooming around planet Earth in low Earth orbit. You know, something like 17,300 miles an hour. Welcome aboard, my friend.
So, Mike, I thank you for doing this. You have the distinction of being the MIT record holder for 400 days in space above all the others that have flown. You're the 13th MIT trained astronaut to do a long duration flight. I really wanted to capture your thoughts about the 25th anniversary coming up here. You'll be on orbit. Bill Shepard, an MIT alum, started it off in 2000. You've been with the program. This is your third long duration flight. Tell me more about how you see this 25th anniversary.
Wow, 25 years of constant human habitation in space. What an accomplishment. And I'm very honored to be one of the crews to have lived on board the space station and spent some time here. And I'll tell you what, John, I was there when space station wasn't a space station where we had modules on the ground. And thanks to the MIT Russian language program, I had enough Russian facility that they sent me over to Russia to get the FGB and service module ready. And I got to spend time with the other modules even before they launched. Then I got to live on board and support the teams and the other crews that have spent, in total over 25 years of constant human presence aboard the space station. What an accomplishment. And a testimony to the teams on the ground and in terms of engineering, science, and diplomacy.
And how has the ISS changed since your prior missions in 2004 and 2009?
Yeah, lots of changes. 2004, the space station only went as far forward as the laboratory module, Destiny, and there were just two of us on board. It was post Columbia when there was just enough resupply for two people. Second mission, much bigger space station, getting ready for 6 people, but there were only 3 of us at the time. And then now, here we are, in 2025, a mature space station with some really fantastic improved solar arrays and robust computing and some world-class modern scientific instruments that have just evolved since I first got here.
And Mike, you were on STS-134, which deployed the AMS. I interviewed Professor Sam Ting, for this article. That's still collecting data after 15 years on orbit. What are your perspectives on the AMS? I realize it's largely a passive instrument relative to the crew up there, but tell me more what your thoughts are, because that still has the promise of breakthrough physics discoveries.
Well, John, it definitely was an honor to be on a space shuttle and a space shuttle mission with such a cool payload, right? The alpha magnetic spectrometer. And what I really liked was the AMS really shows that there's a really neat synergy between fundamental physics and human spaceflight, and we showed that. And Professor Ting has led the way with the AMS-01 mission on the space shuttle, and then figuring out a way to get AMS-02 aboard the space station and getting some fantastic data that's going to really tell us more about the universe. Where's this dark matter coming from? Where's the antimatter? All of these things, and the more we understand the universe, the better off life is here on planet Earth. What a neat mission that was, and that reminds me I should give Professor Ting a call. Yeah,
he'd love to hear from you. and Tell me about what your role was in deploying the AMS.
Well, John, we were a crew of six, and we all had different roles. My role was to, as soon as we get to orbit, turn on AMS and hope that it worked. And I must have hoped really well, or maybe it was the engineers and the ground teams that really put it together so well. And a lot of folks from MIT and from CERN in Europe really worked hard, and it went on. The AMS turned on correctly, and then my crewmates picked it up with the space shuttle arm, handed it off to the space station arm, and latched it onto the outside of space station. And then we ran some important cabling inside to make sure that we have the data coming from AMS straight through and can go through ISS assets straight to the ground and get Professor Ting and his fine teams all the data as soon as it comes in.
Neat. And Mike, I can see you're wearing a brass rat there. And I wanted to hear your thoughts on just how did your education at MIT prepare you to become a NASA astronaut and an ISS crew member?
Well, John, not every astronaut obviously comes from MIT. We all bring our backgrounds to us, but the thing that MIT really helped me, especially when I was much younger and just getting started, was mens et manus. Right? It says so right here on the brass rat, and it's about using the minds and the hands, using your mind and hand together, and. In the Aero-Astro department, I learned critical thinking. I learned about rockets and airplanes. It really motivated me. The foreign language department taught me Russian so I could work with the Soviet Union and then the Russians. And then Earth atmospheric and planetary sciences. I have much more appreciation for planet Earth, and I can help NASA think about what we're going to do on the moon and Mars. So MIT has really done a great job in not just preparing me, but many others in life. And when you have such a critical mass of really intelligent people and critical thinkers, it really makes a difference and brings out the best in all of us, including me. So thank you, MIT.
And I know it's not up there anymore, but did you operate spheres when you were on orbit on the prior missions? The independent satellites. The independent satellites.
On Expedition 18, I had the privilege of flying with fellow alum Dr. Gregory Shamatov, and call sign Taz. And so Taz and I, we worked very closely. I remember it was during the wintertime. I think it might have been even over IAP, and we both worked with spheres together. And Taz was so clever and smart. He was even writing code in his spare time to feed the spheres. He's so clever.
Yeah, I guess he was able to get NASA to manifest MATLAB on a PC in order to do that. Did you bring any unique experiments with you that are sort of personal on your own that you would connect? I spoke with Kate Rubins, who brought up an entire lab bench of materials for in her PPK. She says hello.
No, I'm not as creative as Kate, but I think me and my crewmates on board Expedition 73 here are very focused and dedicated to science. We're supporting the scientists on the ground. We go above and beyond to give them as best results that we can. So I take great pride in that. But no, I don't have anything. No side science hustles. But I do respect those that have had.
Mike, I wanted to hear more about international cooperation, and particularly in light of the Russian invasion into Ukraine. I mean, it's amazing that the diplomacy that you referred to earlier has allowed what appears to be a seamless interaction with the Russians and a collaborative environment, despite enormous tensions on the international scene. Maybe talk a little bit about what that means to you and on it. How do you live that on a day-to-day basis?